Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Journey to Greatness, day 189 of 365 with David McDonald, the GOAT. All right. All righty. Let's get it. We're going to get into our meditation routine here. Dun-dun. All right. So, in our meditation routine, it's a perfect time to just be and have that inner peace, or find that inner peace. Please let me know after the session we discuss. Side. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. Good morning, Kaylee. Good morning, Liz. Good morning, Auntie. How's it going, everybody? So we're getting into our reading routine, and we're perusing through Relentless by Tim Grover. So we're almost done with the book. It's been a pretty good one so far. If you think about reading it, a lot of good nuggets of information. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the other side. Oh. All right. Welcome back, everybody. So we just finished our reading routine, and now we're getting into our journaling routine. All right. So with this routine, I usually start off by writing about the two things I'm most grateful for. So first thing is waking up, and the second thing is being in exceptional health. And then I continue to write about what I'm most grateful for. So if there's anything that happened yesterday, I show my respects and I show my my thanks for yesterday's activities, everything I may have experienced, and then going forward, if there's anything I wish to experience in terms of like goals, whether it's daily goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, it's a perfect time to get everything out of your mind and onto paper. So if you guys have any questions about that, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, let your creative imagination run wild, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, my friends. And so it is. All right. So we just finished our journaling routine. And there were some pretty good points today, actually, in our book that we'll go over. So we're in the process of going from good to great. So Tim Grover is talking about a number of things. Talking about a number of things as it comes to excelling and pushing yourself to the next level. So you suddenly get a great idea. Something completely comes alive in your mind. You mention it to a couple of people and they stare at you blankly. Suddenly you lose all enthusiasm. Why? It's still the same idea you loved a few hours ago. What happened? Stop thinking. After that first initial thought, that first instantaneous gut reaction, why give in to the weakness of second guessing and doubt and analysis that that inevitably follow? Are you listening to others or to your own instincts? Are you taking advice from people who know what they're talking about, or those who only see failure? As soon as you allow yourself to start overthinking your decisions, you start saying things like, I'll sleep on it, or let's put it on the back burner, or any of those other stupid cliches that mean I don't trust myself to make a decision. Back burner? The back burner is for cooling things. You've just cooled a hot idea, and then you'll forget about it altogether and quit, never knowing how close you might have been to success. Can't really express how important that is. Really and truly listening to yourself and trusting yourself, relying on yourself to make a decision, and or finding people or being around people who always have your best interest at heart and have some experience but come from a place more so, or more importantly, from a place of positivity and seeing growth and being uncomfortable. A lot of people may or may not be able to understand where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, none of that matters, because if you understand where you're coming from and where you want to go, sometimes only you can see your vision. And so when you share with other people, unless they know the other moving parts that exist, then you may fall short because they can't see it for themselves, so therefore can't see it for you. You can't rely on others to jump up and make your dreams happen. They have their own dreams. They're not worrying about yours. People might be willing to help if they can, but ultimately it's on you. Get the best people around you, know your strengths and weaknesses, and trust others to do what they do best. But in the end, it's still your responsibility. Make a plan and execute. Hence, everything I just said. You make a choice and stand by it. Most people can't do that. They're content to wing it or see what happens. Come on. You already know what's going to happen if you go into it that way. Whatever you started is going to fall apart. But that's what most people do. They test the waters before jumping in. Why? Unless you suspect those waters are churning with crocodiles, what's the worst thing that can happen? If you take the plunge, you get wet. A cleaner thinks, no problem, I'll swim. Most people just stand at the edge, shivering and looking for a towel. Oh, you can't swim? Fine. Then tell me what you can do. Why stand at the water's edge feeling sorry for yourself? Go a different way. Excel in another area while everyone else is just competing for space in the same pool. So people who have the ability to make decisions instantly um, have the ability to expedite their success. And I say that because in order to be successful, one of the best ways to test your success radar, I guess you would say, is how fast you are able to execute on making decisions. We've talked about this briefly before, going tit for tat with a significant other at dinner. Okay, well, what are you going to eat? I'm going to eat this. Instead of doing that, start getting down and tapping into yourself to say, okay, I looked at the menu. I'm going to execute. I want to make a decision on that, today is the day that I make the decision to wake up every day for the journey to greatness. So when I make that decision, I'm going to execute. So practicing the execution, also, we've referenced it many times. It's the golden window of opportunity. So executing on the golden window of opportunity, where 5% of everyone in the world exists, and then 99% of everyone else doesn't exist. 5 or 10% of the total world wealth is controlled by 10% of the population, and the other is the other. So in order to get into that 10% window, you have one good way to train yourself is by practicing executing on that gold window of opportunity, and that's what's going to set us apart truly from everybody else. People get paid a fortune for being an expert at one thing, so that anytime others need that one thing, you're the only one they'll be calling. I like this. I like this. I like that. Tim then goes into a story talking about there's this experienced sniper. So he went with Michael Jordan to a FBI training facility. He went with Michael Jordan to a training facility, and he said there was one guy out there, one sniper, who was practicing his shot around 400 yards away, and that's 4 football lengths, right? And he just did it over and over. He got in his truck. He got out of his truck, set his gun up, reached, aimed, fired, and then they jumped in the truck with him to see if he hit the target, and they drove out to the truck 400 yards, and he hit the target right in the center, right in the chest. And they were blown away. And he asked the marksman, he goes, "Hey, so how many people usually come out here?" And he goes, "It's only me." So anytime anybody in the military or anytime any exclusive government agency needs him, then they give him a call to come in and do what he has to do. And he pretty much sits there all day long, and he just does that one thing. He comes out and he gets that one thing done, that one shot every single time. Same thing, rather than, which I think can happen too, but that's his one job. He's specific, and I do believe in being specific, because it's your time that you put into it. You're sharpening your craft and being so good that people can't go on without you, essentially. But imagine if he had, I guess it kind of will come with the territory, but imagine if he was shooting or using a different weapon, perfecting his art in a different weapon. That's time spent that he could have put into just getting that one shot right. No mistakes, no errors, eliminating all the way up into 99.9%. It's really important to focus on that one goal. When we focus on those one goals, then we can be sharpshooters also, in achieving certain targets within that goal that we're trying to achieve, or that career, focusing on one concentration profession. So concentrating on one profession and just going at it and being the best at it, and having the ambition to be so great that people cannot do or cannot move in this industry or in that industry unless you're involved in the conversation, because you are that good, right? I think that's excellent advice, and it's good pinpointing, because I remember when we were first starting getting into our businesses and getting into that entrepreneurial world or sphere, we try to do multiple things at once. And yes, it's cool, but you lose focus and you lose the ability to a degree to perfect and be the best at what those, like I said, all that time that you're putting into, being good at this and trying to be great at something else. If you just focus all of your energy onto this one thing, and anybody back then will tell you, I was the hugest, 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 hugest proponent against that. I always feel, but I always felt we do multiple things at once and still be just as successful. To a degree, we can. I don't believe that deep down inside. On the flip side, you be naive. The fact that you practice one thing and sharp yourself the best at that one thing, and then eventually you have the ambition. I appreciate this Tim Grover message. That allows us to reconnect. And a finish clear time tolerance for physical pain. It's not a great challenge. Just get to do